Hi, this is Andy with Mountain Computers. Today is March 22nd, 2019. It's a Friday. I want to share with you why I think some of the great leaders in our country were so successful. And that's not because where they were born or what they were born into or how they were rich already or, some people were born on a silver spoon, some people were born on a wood spoon, some people got lucky, some people got and knew people, some people inherited their success. Some people worked hard for their success, but one of the things I want to tell you about is this thing called a walk-around management style. That's my style. I have seen why the walk-around management style works. It can allow you to become a leader at any and all levels, from just a supervisor, all the way to the CEO, all the way to being a vice president, director, IT manager, what have you. Doesn't matter. General manager. That walk-around management style has two parts to it. One of them is to know your craft and trade, and another part is to know people. Now, one's a hard skill, one's a soft skill. I don't care what school of thought you came from, where you were trained, what high school you went to, but one, you need people to get things done. They're the most expensive and the most flexible resource you can appreciate. But at the same time, when it comes to you, and I mean myself, you have to know how to talk to people, listen to people. You know how to take care of yourself. Always be a constant learner. Learn how to delegate. Walk-around managers, they not only delegate, but they go around and do their work and then come back to your work and see how you're doing. That's farming. Somebody else is working on the fence way over here on the North 40 and somebody else is working on the South 40. We see how we're going to do it, and everybody breaks up and then they come back together, and if somebody's having a problem, that's how you cross-functionally train. That's how you share. That's how you, many hands make work light. There's a lot of cliches and metaphors I can use, but a walk-around management style is something I think most successful leaders are. The people who walk through their business and organization in the early morning before the business opens, they're not only looking at where the work is in progress, but they're looking at OSHA, they're looking at fire and safety, they're looking at trash. One of the things that I did when I was at Microsoft is I wanted to create what's called a world-class organization. Not only did I learn it from other people, consultants, from the books, but from the standpoint of competition. You looked at your competitors and you're like, dang, that's, sometimes you want to do things and then you find out what it really takes to do it and you go, maybe that's not a good idea. But then there are things that you go, I could take this from this guy and this from that girl, combine them and synthesize something that's great for me. Now that's called adapting. We call it technology fusion. We call it taking two things and patenting it. I used to try and patent things, but the world is so legal or litigious. That's the word, litigious. Sometimes it's not worth it. There are people that make money on patents and ideas. I wish I had lawyers around me or a think tank. I always wanted to have a think tank full of walk-around managers, to where we could make hundreds of millions of dollars and use that to help people. Now that would be cool. But this walk-around management style thing, I've done it 4-H. I've done it in college, student body president. I've done it at Microsoft in management. Did it in the Army as a squad leader, as well as, I didn't get into officer stuff or NCO stuff, but I was definitely a leader in my profession in supply. I was always the go-to guy. It's not because I wanted to be, it's just because you just naturally wanted to do a good job. Walk-around management style. I watched some of these people on YouTube, and some of their share and show by example, pretty good. There's a computer guy that does pretty good. The guy in the kitchen with the lazy Susan and a computer on it. Now that's hilarious. It's old, but it still applies, and I like his demeanor. Shout out to him. I forgot what his name is. Sarcasm. Tech lead. The tech lead guy, he has some good sarcasm. he just did a video on what it takes to be 10 times like a software engineer. And instead of it being a 0.1 engineer, to be a 10 times engineer. And I have to admit, after a while I was just like, okay, whatever. But it was pretty good. Now I can tell you what it takes to be a 10 times systems integration engineer. I did that on my previous video just with medical systems. There was just 3 things. I have to condense things down. Some of it's you learn it as you go, and other things you know it just by listening to other people. They don't know what they're saying. They're not putting the pieces together. But as a power analyst, I'm listening to their problem and I'm putting the pieces together. They're inside the problem, they're inside the bubble, I'm on the outside of it. But as wanting to help them automate stuff, streamline stuff, optimize stuff, you want to pick up the things that they might not be seeing. You don't know it, but you know when they're dealing with pain and suffering with the systems they have, and you want to clean it up and naturally not cost them an arm and a leg. Don't nickel and dime them to death, but you do work. I mean, I worked with a guy once that, 50% of his time was spent on warranty work of the work that he did to begin with that shouldn't have been warranty work later on. If he'd have just ordered the right parts, good quality parts, at the right price, paid a good thing, that would have been cool. But let me pause this. I got an incoming call. I'll be right back. Just a second. Andy from Mountain Computers. Like, share, and subscribe.